All right, there we go. Now we are unmuted, everybody. Let's do this. Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. There we go. You missed nothing. All right, Tom Calderano here. Everybody Loves Raymond, ELR 360 Live, coming to you to talk about all things Everybody Loves Raymond. We have to cover mothers. A lot of controversy, a lot of heat around Raymond's mother being in an episode. Very interesting response I'm seeing. Then I just posted a picture today. Let me see. Do I have my phone? Oh, I will need a power cable for a Macintosh, and I think there's one here. Yes, here's one. Let's see if it plugs in. Yes, perfect. Welcome, everybody. Special. Is this good for people, or is Sunday better? Sunday is really convenient for me. Okay, let's bring up some hellos. Hi, Gil. 10 p.m. in the UK. Is that correct? Hi, Paula. Hi, everybody. Hello, no sound. Yes, it was muted. The dreaded mute. Good afternoon from Crystal Lake, Illinois. Oh, I like that. And then, yeah, okay. So many different places. So let me bring up Donnell. Okay, so I haven't seen you guys since, let me get there, and there I'm in frame. I have a chair. It's a very expensive chair. And it sinks, so I have to figure out the height that I'm going to end up at after a while of talking. Donnell, we missed you in Austin, but I do appreciate, I'm drinking a little bit of tea. You sent me a very generous amount of tea. So here's this. Green tea and elderflower. Green tea with elderflower. Sounds like something Monty Python would do if they had a wholesome show. Green tea and elderflower, that's going to be, I don't think we have the AIS mug. No, this is the logo mug. Oh, it smells good. It went past, okay, it's too hot to drink right now. I will have a 3rd-degree burn. You know when you can tell you have an expensive tea? When it has that triangular tea bag? It's not your Lipton. Nothing against the Lipton folks. Okay, and then I'm drinking another tea. Janet, did you send me this? This is a hotel, a fancy schmancy hotel. Tea. I don't get that tea at the Motel 6 that I stay at on the, along the Route 80 corridor. But that tea I'm going to try, and that is in our favorite quotes mug. So there we go, favorite quotes mug. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, perfect. So yes, let's talk just a little bit, follow up about Austin. Austin, Texas was great, and Phil mentioned, like, should we do more of these shows? And I'm like, yes, we should do more of these shows. If we can get cities to give us enough interest, we can probably come to a city near you, which, as I've posted a couple of pictures of our fans, Annabelle, Kim, Kristen, Karen Jack, of course, who made it down. And we didn't have, so believe it or not, it was a casual evening. We did our show. And the show, unfortunately, which could have gone 2 to 3 hours long, was only 1 hour and 15 minutes. So we go on stage, it's a big amount of applause, and we all get to tell our stories. The audience is really receptive. And I'm looking at a clock over here, and I see that we're supposed to be off at 8:15, and it is 8:17, and we haven't gotten to the bloopers or the questions yet. We like to take questions from the audience, just like I have been doing here since the beginning of the series live in the studio audience, and then also here doing the shows live when we did a couple inside the writer's room of Raymond, and then also on Facebook. So I knew this was trouble. So the host, who did a great job, he goes, okay, Phil, let's run the blooper reel. And Phil's like, oh, I thought we were going to do questions with the audience. And he said, well, you guys went long. So no, we're not going to do the questions. And he said, can we please do the questions? And so he had to look out because there's another show after. That's why. And so it's not like we were in the Ridgefield Playhouse in Connecticut where they have nothing going on afterwards. we decide, okay, let's answer questions. Always a fun time, always great. Only had time for a few questions, and that can usually be the highlight of the entire show. So we have a great time, and then afterwards, I was meeting with a couple of people, and then we were all in the same hotel, and then that's where you see photos, and some people who don't know anything about ELR 360 Live and just know the show are like, who are these people with Ray? How dare they? Who is this blonde woman? Who's that blonde? They're all blonde, except for Kim, etc. So we had a very good casual hangout, like you were just at your local neighborhood bar, and you got to talk to Tucker Cawley and Mike Royce and Lou Schneider, Phil Rosenthal, TV's Ray Romano, who doesn't drink, by the way, etc. So if we get submissions of cities where we can come and Phil wants to go to that city, then there's a chance we could do that. I would do a touring show. That would make me very happy. And hopefully that's in the works. Okay, let's say, with your help. Let's do this. Hi, Karen Jack. Let me see. Hi, Anita. Tom, I hope you're doing well. Hello, Tom. Everyone from a very cold, wet Ireland. What is that like, cold, wet? Because we here in Hollywood, I don't want to break it to you, but I think it might be 81 degrees, and I thought I saw a cloud about 50 miles away, high up in the sky. Linda Lawrence Casey sent, here, let me bring that up. Sent you, I got to look at these lines. Okay, let me do this. I see. So, yeah, there we go for Instagram. I apologize because it's just a close-up of me. Clip from Candid Camera. I've never seen that clip. I don't know where they filmed it. I had no awareness of it. I'm going to send it to the A. Rose Raymond writers, which includes TV's Ray Romano, and see if he even remembers it. I know you're going to be like, well, of course he remembers it. Yeah. When you get to be famous, hopefully everyone will, you do so much stuff that you can't remember what you've done. I think I gave this sample in the past. I saw a picture of Ray being shaved on national TV on the Ellen show, and I sent the picture to Ray because it was in a book in a publicist's office in New York. I was like, oh, look at that. I sent it to Ray, and Ray goes, no memory of that. And that sounds like, oh, you're lying, but you get to do a lot of stuff. That's why, don't be offended. For example, let's say, I'm trying to think of an example. Karen Jack, for example, who saw Ray in the bar in Austin. If you see Ray in 4 years and you go, it's me, that's always problematic. I sometimes say, hey, Ray, Tom here. Let me see. Yes, Janet, thank you for the tea. I haven't been able to taste it yet because it is 1,000 degrees, but I don't need the tea yet. We're so early on. Thank you, Janet. A million thank yous. How did you get that? Hi, Kristen. Let me see. Deb T. Now, you gave up your seafood night here to join in. That is very nice of you. I don't, is it a tradition that you have seafood? Is it a tradition that you have seafood every night? Every Tuesday, is that what you said? Tuesday. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Have you seen Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations original book? Because he's like, never order seafood from a restaurant on, I think, Monday and Tuesday, because they get the new shipment on Wednesday, so they're ready for the weekend. But I could be completely wrong, and your place may order fresh stuff. I'm just saying you might be dodging a bullet, and you've extended your life by doing this. Karen Jack, such a great show that left us all wanting more. Yeah, don't you feel, I mean, I got to be honest, I edited all those clips, and we figured out the runtime, and I didn't even want to tell the guys, but each person had like 4 minutes and 50 seconds to talk, each writer. So it's a little bit of crime, because I'll say this on stage, if I'm ever on stage with them again, everybody on that panel has the ability to have you doubled over laughing if they get on a run. And for us, we're kind of following the script of telling the story of the show, but of the episode. So you might get a good laugh. Okay. Let's see this. Anita, it is cold. It is cold and wet here too. Where are you, Anita? Where are you? Deb Tucker Frank, Fruit of the Month Club. Marie calling the Fruit of the Month Club delivery a cult is one of the most iconic lines. How much of that scripted version was ad-libbed by Doris Roberts? Zero. 100% zero was ad-libbed by Doris Roberts. I'll have to post the pilot page. So here's off of that, and I don't know why it is. It's a weird thing, but a lot of the here, how do I go back? Because I've talked about this so many times because it's a very common topic of conversation. The actors are brilliant, and when you watch it, you're like, "That's Peter Boyle. That's Patricia Heaton making up that line, dropping the turkey by accident, and then they just went with it." Everything has to be scripted. It doesn't take anything away from their performance. It's just an interesting thing. I don't know, something in human nature that goes, please tell me that Doris Roberts ad-libbed a bunch of this. She is an amazing actress. I don't have to tell you that. 4 Emmys from the show. But that was almost cheating by Phil, because I'm pretty sure his mother said a lot of those lines verbatim. So yes, so there is your answer. Okay. Hi, Susan Woods. Stampanato. Okay. The Arcadia Theater in St. Charles. It would be a perfect place to hold a show. Where is St. Charles? Illinois? How far outside of Chicago is that? The calculation I was running in my head is, what food can Phil have? Can we get to Tefano's restaurant, Teresa's restaurant, in time for the show, etc.? I'm going to put that in the list. Let me tell my imaginary staff to put that down. Yes, can someone in the room here? Great. Okay, that means I have to remember that. Hi, Tom, from Kathy Pine in Kenosha, Wisconsin, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Hello from Sydney. Good day, or is it in the afternoon there? I don't know. Mum and I, okay, Mum tells me you are in the UK. That's what tells me that, Anita. Mom and I watched the episode with the family picture. I was in tears laughing when Ray said to Deborah's mom, "Get back in your place." Did the scenario ever happen to a cast or crew member? That was a Lou Schneider script, and I can't remember how much of it is real. Lou Schneider is and let me talk about the real aspect of it. Lou Schneider is Snaps. He plays Snaps, the photographer, in that episode. Why is he playing Snaps? Because something happened where Phil wasn't getting the bit of the guy, and then Phil said, "You do it, Lou. You act that out. You be on the show. It's your lame stuff. You go ahead and make it funny." And so that's how Lou got on there. That's a good question for Lou next time he's back. Unfortunately, Lou lives elsewhere now. Hello, Tom. I'm watching you and playing piano as I have a concert coming up that I'm playing in soon. Now, Anita, do you think, and I'm not judging here, I don't think Mozart or Beethoven ever watched Facebook Live while they were rehearsing. I know there's some problems with that theory, but I can guarantee you that they didn't. You know why? Because I'll bet you internet service was terrible in Germany back then, and Austria, wherever those guys were. Okay, Karen Jack. Here we go. Congratulations, just like Ray's mother, real piano teacher in person. Ray got, let me see. Ray most definitely won't remember. I spoke to Phil at length 3 years ago, and he never remembers me. Not that I blame him one bit. He has so many adoring fans, and he's so gracious to all of us, as was Ray, who I know is more shy than Phil. Karen Jack, once again, a perfect explanation of their dynamic. Excellent. You get an A. I don't know if I give out ratings to customers. Oh, my collar is my stylist. Where is my stylist today? That's probably too much. I think that feels, I don't know, what does that feel like? An uptight soccer coach, maybe? Or, I don't know, somebody who's trying to hide a fencing scar, maybe. Neither of those things. Crossword update. Hope I am not being a pest. Linda, you're not being a pest. I still have to get the name of the lipstick that Patty Heat. Hold on, let me yell to my staff. Can we write down the lipstick that Patricia Heaton wore so it doesn't smudge, and the Linda's crossword puzzle is in an envelope on the left speaker in the living room for safe keeping. Okay. You know I know what answers me back, folks, because there is nobody there. Okay. Let me see. What is this? It's hard to read. Beck's Land and Sea in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, has specials. Tuesday and seafood night, Wednesday. Hold on, I'm going to write this down. Wednesday is crab night. Ooh, I like that. Your friend Kate McCucci is originally from Nazareth, PA, has gone there, and her photo is shown by the owners there. Deb, oh, okay. Yeah, Kate McCucci, who is in our Hello, Hi, How Are You series on PBS. She plays the animal catcher who's afraid of animals, I believe. Okay, let's see. 35 miles, tremendous food. Yes, Susan. Okay, so Chicago would be, someplace in Chicago would be a good place to go. That's an excellent explanation. Okay, let me scroll down. Lemony, boom, bing, get on done. Okay, yes. Fun hearing all the writers. Since Brad and Ray had to play brothers, but had just met on the sea, had the writers craft the unique chemistry of early episodes. Yeah, that was them. We crafted nothing. That was Ray and Brad Garrett coming together. Okay, here we go. Hi, Kathy from Sandusky. Does Ray still play the piano? Donnell. The answer is no. So he has a piano in his house. He can play piano. He got that gift from his mother, but he doesn't really play. He does play piano. He played piano in that episode, but he doesn't really play piano. Douglas Brown. Since I didn't get to ask my question at the show in Austin. Now, Douglas, are you the one who said you saw us walking up the steps, leaving you in the dust to go mingle with the hoi polloi? Am I making up that, or was that true? Okay. Is there a good story behind the wedding invitation episode? Was it based on a real story? So that, I believe, who wrote that episode? The wedding, the invite. What was that called with Hank and Pat? I got to post a picture of that real one. As far as I know, that was, so here, I'll go back big picture. Ray used to have a bit about screwing up his wife would send him out to the restaurant. His wife would send him out to a supermarket. And in Ray's stand-up comedy show, he would say, "You got to really screw it up, you know. You go, you sent me out for whatever, Q-tips and milk, and you come back with broccoli and a hammer, and so then they don't ask you to do stuff. So, but I don't know I don't know who wrote that episode. Someone would have to look it up for me, and then tell me, and then I go, okay. What is that called? The Plan. Is that The Plan? That's The Plan. That's the name of it. I don't know who wrote that. Doesn't pop into my head. Bing. Okay, going. So Douglas, yes, that is a great question. Hi, Deb Tucker Frank. Now, are you going to be starving after this and have to pop in a Mrs. Paul's fish stick? Those of you of a certain age will know that. The band between Frank and Ron, how much of their intense bickering came from the writer's own parents? Yeah, I mean, I think that was, that was in the dialogue. And, after, they were the best to write for. Like, they were really, really good, The Plan was written by Tucker Cawley. So I'm going to talk to Tucker. By the way, I'm starting to interview everybody, and then we're going to roll them out, and also a bunch of me talking about the episodes. Gil, let me bring you up. Gil goes right to the front of the line, always. I'm probably visiting Chicago next. Might be able to make it to another Everett Raymond event. Gil, if you come to any more, you're going to have to come on stage with us. Okay? That's going to be the rule. Anita John, I'm playing a bit of Sondheim and Stephen Schwartz. Tricky stuff, yes, especially when you're listening to a boring guy. Reminder to locate Doris's chocolate cake. I'll bake another for a Tom rating, of course. Kristen, you want me to locate the recipe, right? So I think I told everybody loves Doris's Marie's chocolate cake. It's so delicious. But The place that made it, it was called Rhonda's Cake because Rhonda Robinson's the head of props. So she would get it delivered by this woman. The bakery closed. I tracked down the woman by face and name through with the help of Rhonda. I have to reach out to that woman. She's no longer in the baking business. I could show up at a bakery, would be much easier. Hey, you know how you made this at this bakery? But I think she sells insurance or something now. So it's, people are weird. You just don't know people. So I could contact her. Here's what could happen. I could contact her and she could go, I love this idea. Let me help you. Or she could, I could contact her and she's like, my husband thinks there's millions of dollars if I give that recipe. So I am not going to do it unless you pay me $2,000 to appear on your show. That would be the worst case scenario. Or what is another scenario? I guess she, can't remember the recipe? That would be problematic if she can't. If she's like, I know I used to make it when Ray Romano got shaved on Ellen. That's how I know it. So we will track it down. But, okay, here's a special surprise for you guys. Let me do this. Here, let me see if I can zoom in on this ending. Let's see this. Okay, oh, you know what? I haven't checked anything on Instagram. Super neglected Instagram. Do you know if Ray Romano has any stand-up shows coming up? I don't. So I think Ray dropped in a comedy club in Austin, Texas when he was there, but I don't think so. Yes, I'm not being coy. His only dates that are usually in Las Vegas, and I don't know if he has any on the calendar. Okay, can I? Oh yeah, here's the calendar. Here's the thing. It looks weird because hello from Toronto. Sorry, I'm looking over at another screen at Instagram. Good evening from Georgia, Ruth Rosario. Where are you in Georgia? Where might you be in Georgia? I have a couple people that I work with are in Georgia. They're from South Georgia, a poor portion of Georgia. I know there's jokes there, but I'm not going to make them. Okay, now, this, some of you know, some of you don't know. But here we go. Pull this off without hurting this. Does anybody recognize what this is? What does that dish look like to you? Okay, their significance is it's from the show. Okay, let's see if we get a couple of these things. Oh, this can go over here. Let me put this here. There we go. Just to check the levels. Okay, so let's see our suggestions. I feel like if I brought, let me see if I can do something else. I feel like if I had a bigger screen. Let me do this over here. Oh, that completely backfired. Oh, now I can't see me. Always happens. Okay, come on, Tom. Here we go. Let's move this over here. Yeah, but then I'm too profile-y. Okay, let's go back here. I'm bouncing between two different screens so I can see comments on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. Okay, who knows what that is? Okay, Brajol. Good. Donnell, Steak Pizzaiola. Donnell, you have been my hero of heroes. You and Kathy Pine know everything. However, it could be mistaken for Steak Pizzaiola. But what is it? It is, let's see. Yes, folks, Deborah Barone's Brajol recipe. Bracciole. That's how you would say it. So that, there is the recipe. And it is pretty extensive. So here, hold on. Don't panic, everybody. I've turned pages before. It is very extensive. It is very detailed. It is, and where is it? Does anybody want to guess where this recipe is? Let's see if any of you have it. I'm on vacation right now in Buffalo. Glad I caught the live. Hi, Suzanne. Yes. With the currents. Yes, Brajol. Yes, great. All these great guesses. Okay, does anybody want to guess where the official recipe of Deborah's Bracciole is? Okay, You know what? While you guys are thinking, I'm going to try. Oh, this is the hotel tea from Janet. There we go. Out of the, let's see if it's hot. Oh, I didn't read what it is. It's a fruity, delicious tea. It's kind of a, it tastes of success. That's what it tastes like. Yeah, let's see what that label says. Here we go. This is the tree. This is the tea that Janet, does it describe it on the front? I don't think so. Maybe on the side. Here we go. It's fancy. Anything that comes in metal is fancy. Okay. All right. Who wants to guess where this? Here it is, folks. I'm going to reveal it to you. Let's see. The recipe. Is the recipe in Patricia Heaton's autobiography? No. Rose Raymond photo book? No. Doris's cookbook? No. I don't like to be negative, but no, 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 and no. I saw Turkey or Fish recently where Fred and Bishop, okay, it ran away. So remember Fred and Bishop, Phil and Ray's dad. They were not credited. Fred and Bishop, I can't remember from then. I don't think so. No, because they fell asleep in the episode. Yeah, I think that was for them. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. Here is the official Brajol recipe is contained in this book by this gentleman. It is Phil Rosenthal, Phil's favorites. Come on, if my head gets out of there, it will focus. Yes. There we go. Let's get a steady image there. Oh, see, I can't poke my head in, but I need to, my head needs to be there to see. Okay, so Phil's favorites. This is Phil's second book. It's not Phil writing the book. It's Phil writing the book about how all of the great chefs who he has encountered, their recipes. So there you go. Phil's favorites right there. Wow, do I have to go far back for Instagram to get a full frame? So Deborah's bracciole recipe in Phil's book. Now, am I going to post the recipe? I can't post that recipe. You're going to have to buy the book is phenomenal. Why? Because Phil's not making anything. No, I think he makes one recipe in the book. I know in this first one he did. Phenomenal. If you haven't watched Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix, this is the highlight book of all the things that you can get from the places that he went to. Look at this. This is where Tom has to be. That's how far Tom has to be. It's good for picture, bad for audio. Okay. The original recipe, you can look up recipes because Rhonda Robinson sourced an original recipe that you can find on the internet. But that is Phil taking the time to have that in his fantastic book. So there you go. The bracciole recipe is there, front and center. Okay, so I posted some pictures, mystery solving problems. A couple things. I posted a picture of, posted a question. Was Ray's mother ever in an episode? And quite a few people wrote no, and very adamantly no. And no. And so a couple of people said, I think Tom would know. Why would he say which episode if they weren't in it? And so then I posted, here's the episode who's in it. And then a couple of fights broke out where I find it's very important in life to admit when you're wrong. It's very hard to do. I've never been wrong, so I don't know the challenge, only by reading about it. But it's very important, and I feel bad. I love it when people are like, whoops, missed that one, didn't realize it. And she's hard to spot. You have to know what she looks like. And a lot of people thought she looked like Zia, their aunt that came from Bissaquino. But no. So now, a lot of people mentioned this episode. Let's go here. A lot of people thought it was, there we go, zooming in here. There we go. A lot of people thought it was this woman. That woman is, who wants to guess who that woman is? Who would like to take a swing? Okay, I'm holding it steady. I'm not talking. I'm giving you focused concentration time. Who would you think that is, everybody? Okay. Let me see. I need one answer, one participatory answer to show that somebody. Okay, Kim. That seems unfair, Kim. Anything you answer seems unfair. It's not a criticism, it's a compliment. Okay, this is Monica's mother, the woman that played Amy. This is her mother. She is from Pennsylvania, lives in Pennsylvania, and she is in the background of Who Am I? Okay, where Deborah. There we go. Okay, folks, there she is. Sorry, Instagram, you're only seeing a piece of it. That's how far it has to be away for Instagram to see it, right there, okay? So let me zoom in one more time. A good hair day for Patty, her favorite color, red. So there you go, Monica's mother, and then one more photo. This is yours truly in the audience, Tom Caldabiano here, in the audience, and there's Phil and Monica, and you can see, if you zoom in, also listening is Monica's mother right there. This is in between takes. Phil came over. He would come over periodically to talk to me, to tell me stop talking to the audience because you're annoying them, and then I would eventually come down. But in all seriousness, Phil would come over, say hello, and people might have questions for Phil. Phil now, though, is very famous. I think I might still have that shirt. It's a blue shirt. It's a nice shirt, and I might have that shirt still, hopefully. All right, and then some camera people. And then, if you notice, yes, there's our favorite Doris Roberts sitting there on that chair. Okay, so we cleared that up. As far as I know, Ray's mother was only in the wedding episode. She did not come that often. She had no aspirations to act, even though she was an amazing piano teacher and piano student and pianist who studied at Juilliard, the prestigious school, I think one of the youngest graduates of Juilliard. Gave it all up to raise a family. But she had no ego, no desire to be on camera. I think Phil's mother also didn't really have a big desire to be on camera. The fathers were the Hams. Mostly Phil's father had very, very good comedic timing. And Ray's father had good comedic timing without knowing it, like without trying. Like Max knew what he was doing. And Albert just by default got big laughs, you know. We've got balloons, but we can't blow them up. The way they delivered that line was phenomenal. Hi, Elizabeth Herring. Elizabeth Herring, when are you going to come? Are you still traveling? When are you going to come here to the studio and talk about Everett Raymond? In person. In person. Okay. We'll figure that out. So we'll figure that out. Elizabeth Herring is the dialogue coach. So one of the things I wanted to chat about real briefly is something called, that I posted a picture of. Here, let me see this. Hold on. Tom, you're looking for, what are you looking for? This. Yes, so I'm looking for this. Here it is. Hold this right there. Okay, so sorry, Instagram. I'm going to sacrifice you for 1 second. That is the speed through in the makeup room. And the only other person in there besides yours truly taking pictures, I was not supposed to be in there. But I decided to go in there anyway. No one said, you got to leave here, but they're rehearsing the scene. The only person that really was supposed to be in there besides the actors was Elizabeth Herring. Let me pull back for Instagram people. Elizabeth Herring is the dialogue coach from Everett Raymond, and she went to college with someone named Phil Rosenthal. And so she worked on the show. She was very good at knowing when to jump in and knowing when to hang back, meaning now they're rehearsing. Okay, so the rehearsing, it's not really a high stakes rehearsal, but I should do an all Elizabeth Herring photos just to embarrass her. When you're on stage in front of a live audience and you're watching and Peter Ball is saying a line and you're like, oh no, he doesn't have it. And then he comes out with it and it gets a giant laugh. Had Elizabeth jumped in too soon, people would be like, what are you doing? So she had to be there, super tuned into this. She had to watch the show harder than anybody watched the show during the live filming, because God forbid somebody lost their line and it went off the rails, meaning they're lost. Okay, cut. Oh boy. sit back in your chair. Here's another delay. Give him his lines. Give whoever the lines, etc. So Elizabeth Herring had a very tough job, and we all treated her with 40% of the respect that she deserved. But what are you going to do? We're comedy writers. I'm going to see. I think she's going to be in another. Let me see. It's hard to escape. She's in every scene. She is the closest to the cast is Elizabeth Herring, because she's also their lifeline when they're like, oh boy, I don't know it. Okay, yes, here we go. So now this is kind of the same thing, only no Elizabeth Herring. This is me photographing Patty getting her curlers put in, and I've said this. Patty was a trooper because I would photograph her anytime I wanted. I don't think she ever said no photos. And I made this point before, and I got attacked by one woman viciously, violently, with the words. An actress makes their living with their looks, and the world is cruel, cruel, cruel to actresses. So God forbid you turn 50, 40. These are terrible, terrible times for an actress. So they have to, that's how they make their living, is with their looks. And so when I say that's very brave of her to be taking pictures while she's pregnant or while she's in the makeup mirror, people are like, how small-minded of you, Tom. And I don't think they understand the pressure that an actress is constantly under. Men really go away unscathed within reason. They're never going to be like, you need to adjust this. How about some plastic surgery? Ever thought about that? TV's Ray Romano doesn't have to worry about someone saying something like that. It's an unfair and cruel world. That's the conclusion of that. Elizabeth Herring, yes. Or, okay. You know what, Karen Kraft? Karen, it's so weird. I can't call you Karen Kraft. Okay. Karen Giacalone. Was she Bill Parker's wife? Also a big fact that I omitted. Even I make mistakes. But in my diary, it won't be me making a mistake. It'll be that wise ass Karen Jack had to step up. Karen Pine, maybe that's what I'm remembering. Okay. Hi, Janet. Saw you in the Captain Nemo. Yes. Phil's mom, Helen, was in the skit. Yes, absolutely. Tom, I just saw the basketball episode with you in a good job delivering my one line. And nice pass to Brad in the locker room. Okay, I'll tell you a story about that. I always noticed that lady because she looks like my Aunt Jerry. Okay, Gery, just for everybody at home going, oh boy, who is Aunt Jerry? So I was in the Captain Nemo episode. That was a very nice thing that Phil Rosenthal did for me because I was earning almost no money. And Phil says, I'm going to put you in an episode so you earn a little bit more money. Thank you, Phil. I will be eating a meal every day this week. Now, this is hard to believe for you guys watching. Well, didn't you work on a hit show? Not at the time. Show was probably going to be canceled. So Phil's like, hey, we'll put you in this basketball thing and we'll give you a line and then you'll get paid and get something to eat. So I am fairly athletic, I would say. I really got to know Ray Romano playing in the outfield of the improv softball team in New York, and also his brother, the policeman softball team called Nemo's, named after their favorite dog. So the first day of rehearsal with Brad, I'm supposed to throw him a pass, and I throw him a normal basketball pass that any man who has practiced or played with a basketball for 2 to 3 days in their lifetime would just catch it. And Brad kept going, Tommy, he calls me Tommy. Tommy, take it easy, take it easy with those passes. And I literally thought, like, it's not like I'm sitting there throwing it as hard as I can. And so that's when I learned, Brad Garrett is not an athlete. And that must suck when you're 6'9" and you don't play basketball. So yeah, that was that. That's the backstory on that episode. Bad Moon Rising, Ray taping. So I posted, let's talk about that a little bit. Hi, Deb Tucker Frank, Bad Moon Rising, Ray taping, Ray's out, taping Deb's better, playing it back. Did that scene come from a real life argument or a room brainstorming? I don't, so that's a real life story. Monica Haran mentioned it, that she was the inspiration. She was here being interviewed. I'll have to find that. And she said, well, there's an episode based on me, the PMS episode. By the way, did she talk about it also maybe in the the Last Laugh documentary? She might have. I think she did. So that happened to Phil in real life, and he came into the writer's room and he's like, hey, I'm going to do this episode about PMS. And for stand-ups, we're like, you know what? It's such a hacky premise. What does hacky premise mean? A hacky premise is something that everybody talks about that's cliche, like the difference between cats and dogs, you know, and whatever, any subject. Now, having said that, I always look at it this way. Who writes a good episode? Who cares if it's quote unquote hacky? It's only hacky if you don't have a unique take on it or if you don't make people laugh. It's kind of like saying to Frank Sinatra, you know, there's a lot of love songs out there. Why are you singing a love song? Well, I think I can hit this one out of the park. Okay, good luck, Frank. So with the PMS episode, Phil came in, he's like, okay, I'm going to do this because I had an argument with Monica and I don't know what to do. She wanted a hug. She asked me for a hug while she was, you know, attacking me. So the taping, and a lot of times I think this clears it up for people. A lot of times in an episode, you have to think of a device to make it, to escalate the actual situation, to make it funny. So Mike Royce's burning the house down by buying tissues is that perfect example where, you know, it could be like she just didn't like the tissues. That's not as much fun to watch as the house burning down and having Ray do this little thing escalate into this giant thing. So with the PMS episode, the recording of it, it is, and it went perfectly as planned. It's like, oh, you don't know what I have to deal with. I'm going to record you. And it's like, okay, that's a perfect way to win a court case and lose your marriage. So if it seems like, and that I think it should chime in on the people debating, if it seems like a bad idea, we will do that in the show because bad ideas make for very good comedy. The therapist watching the show is very much going to be like, oh, nope, that's not the way to handle it. We know, because the way to handle it is very, very unfunny. Like everything happening well, exactly as planned is not exactly a good thing. Okay. What do I have to do? Oh, a script. Somewhere there's a script. Probably in my office. Yeah. So I'll get to a script and then I'll do a snack also. Let's catch up on comments. Love it. Neil Passmore. Hi, Tom. Neil by the way, I knew a Nick Passmore who was a wine critic. Do you know that? In Swansea, Wales, joining you. Quick question. How cool is this that I am Los Angeles, California, and you are talking to me and it's costing you nothing? And it's only costing me a little bit of my dignity. Okay, when I see the credits and Ray is a producer and you listed as co-producer, what does that mean? As in, what different roles did you both play as producer versus co-producer? I always wondered. Neil, excellent question, a very common question because there's so many credits. How's the hair looking today? Not bad. So from job, the succinct answer, money. It's only money. I did the same thing on the show effectively from day one till the last day. When I say effectively, year one was not quite the same type of thing, but I basically did the same thing. Let me see this. Oh, yes. I basically, on a show like Raymond, there's very few writers left. So there was probably 5 that Phil had originally. I was Ray's guy from day one. So there was 6 people that were there from the beginning to the end. And then, Aaron Shore came in and Mike Royce, they stayed till the end. There's a promotion ladder. That's all it is. So it's not in any way like, Tom, now you're a co-producer. You're a grown-up now. We need you to do this. Zero change. It was all based on the Writers Guild and Producers Guild and how good of a deal could your agent get you and where does the network feel and how does Phil feel, all that stuff. So there is no difference because even writing, it's very confusing. Staff writer, is it story editor, co-producer, producer, supervising producer, co-executive producer, executive. So there's all these things. Nobody did anything different. the titles as fact, there's people who are executive producers who were the most pivotal people on the show, and there are people who are executive producers who, if they didn't show up for work, nothing would change. So it really depends on the show. But excellent question. A lot of confusion for people. Tom, your cap flipping is a very specific skill. When did you learn how to do that? Now, Bob, Bob Silva in Hawaii, aloha. In an episode, I take a cap in the party episode where we hear it in the vent rattling. We have a flashback, and Ray does this and flicks a bottle cap. That's actually my hand. And in some scenes now, you can actually see my face. And it shocked me because I was telling somebody about it, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy moly, there's my face on camera wearing Ray's shirt. What was that party? I think that was a flashback. I can't remember the name of that episode. The party? It wasn't the party. You guys know. You guys can write it and I'll read it, and that will save me time. Let me see. Yeah, Durfwad. Was there ever a story you were going to do, but it made it into the show? Grace. Sorry, I shouldn't be mumbling. Karen, let me see. Coming, see. Durfwad. I mean, Durfwad is a very, that's like an East Coast thing. Durfwad. Yeah, that was, Deborah accused Ray of that, right? I can't remember the episode. I just saw it. Okay. Let's see this. I want to try and guess the episode. Let's see this. Let me look at this. Pants on Fire, because Raymond lied, liar, pants on fire. Yes. So Bob Silva, going back to the statute of limitations worn off. I grew up in northern New Jersey. My friends drank a lot of beer. I actually I don't think I drank until college. So they were way ahead of me. So I would take the bottle caps, they would do it, and there would be a lot of bottle caps. And I wasn't drinking. So I had to entertain myself. That's how I learned that skill. Yes, pants on fire. All right, let me see the script. Okay, let me get rid of this. Oh, do this, and then this. Everybody loves Raymond 360. Tom Caltabiano here talking to you on oh, that's funny. That's funny, the first photo I look at. Oh, boy. Yeah, we haven't shown this one. Okay, folks. For those of you who are going, who is this guy and why are we listening to him? That's your problem, not mine. But I am Tom Caltabiano, and I was a writer on the show for all 9 years, and I was the unofficial photographer on the show. I took 30,000 behind-the-scenes photos of the series. I'm kind of becoming now almost the historian of the show because I rescued from the dumpster 210 scripts from the wardrobe department that look kind of like this with Polaroid pictures stapled, taped to the inside, and the same thing for all of the 210 props scripts. One thing I like to do, we have super fans out there. I like to show the Polaroid pictures and see, can you guess the episode? The biggest challenge of guessing the episode, I don't think anybody has ever done it, is Ray Romano. Ray Barone dresses almost the same every single 210 episodes. So once we get to Patty, that's a little bit, more. Patty's really the one that you're going to guess it from. However, some super fans can. But here, this is a very funny photo. Okay, ready, folks? I can hold this really close. Sorry, Instagram. I'll get back to you. That is Ray Romano wearing, how would you describe that shirt? T-shirt with a other shirt over it, opened with jeans. But look at behind him is me. I am poking my head over Ray's shoulder. So there you go. Okay, Instagram, there we go. So that is your first clue. Can you guess it from that? This one you might. This one actually, I know that. Okay, Ray Romano wearing a sweater. I can guess it from that episode. How funny. That's the first time I have ever seen that picture. Who knew? All right, Patricia Heaton. There's Patty. I think everything that Patty wore was tailored. I wrote that, and I was told that by Marilyn Boucher. And Patty always looked very good. Everybody should have their own personal tailor. And let's see, just for people to know, copious notes about the outfit. Now, just to be clear, they didn't tell Patty, put your sleeves up, do this, do this. That's how the actor did it, and then the wardrobe department noted it. So it wasn't like the wardrobe department is saying, you should push your sleeve up. I mean, they could before they filmed, but for the most part, no. So here, let's just give you a better shot at the notes. It's not, there we go. So those are the notes. Sorry, Instagram. We don't even know what's happening over at Instagram, at Facebook. Okay, let's scroll down. Let's see some of these guesses. I use the word idiot. Well, Kim. Doris Roberts. Doris Roberts. Okay, there's other clues in there. Everybody, there's other clues in there. Let's see, close-up of Doris's. A lot of people ask about Doris's shirts. A lot of them were custom made. Peter Boyle wearing kind of the same thing he wears all the time. Peter Boyle, same outfit. Let's see, Brad Garrett. Can you tell what season it is? You can tell a little bit by Brad's weight. There we go. Sorry, Instagram. There you go. Okay. Couple more. How are those guesses coming, everybody? Yeah, I kind of can't show the next two because I can show this one. There we go. Maddie, one of her brothers. Another brother. Here we go. What do we got here? Oh, that is just a wardrobe thing. And what is that? Okay. Yep. Those are what's known as extras. Okay. Was there a reason? Let me just look for another. Okay, now you can guess it 100%. Everybody can guess it 100%. There we go. One. And then that couple. Yes. Okay. All right, Kim, I'm pretty sure you already got it early on. But, oh, this is good. So, sorry, I'm looking at the extras, and I'm looking for, let's see. Okay, I'll have to go through scene J, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Interesting. Okay. Kim guessed it. I believe the first one. I can scroll back for the time code for all of the money. Garage sale. Kim guessed garage sale early on. Michelle, yes. Garage sale. So Ray fan Kim. Oh, Kathy came in before. Oh, interesting. But it's the same time. I'm gonna have to. Do I declare it a tie? Even though we have this type of thing going on, that says 1458, and that says 1458. Wow. Karen Jack, yes. Now you're correcting, of course. Yes, Donnell, of course you would, yes. That is awesome. Okay, the episode is Garage Sale. Here we go. You can see a production code there, that gives away. These are all the wardrobe notes. Excellent job, everybody, very early on. Garage Sale, kind of a controversial one. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Interesting. Here we go. I think this is from Donnell. These are, what are these? Here we go. They look phenomenal. They look phenomenal. That's me talking into the canister. Okay, so what would you call them? What are they called? Oh, here we go. Got to get rid of the glare. There we go. Salted caramel milk chocolate. Well, that sounds terrible. Let me see. Oh, that was loud. I apologize, everybody. Okay, a little bit of packaging involved. For those who don't know, Tom Caldabiano here, writer on Everest Raymond. We did a cookie test in the writer's room years ago at the insistence of the late, great Jeremy Stevens, who said that Hydrox were better than Oreos. And Phil said there's only one way to settle this like men, and that's to spend the afternoon eating cookies. And so we did. And, okay, hold on. This is... Okay, this is going to be... Oh, you know, I have those little white plates. That would be awesome. The little cool white plates. Okay, so let me hold this up to the camera because I'm under the hot lights. Ooh, that, folks, looks decadent and delicious. Okay, let me see if I can, how close will this? Okay, there you go. That's about as close as they can go. Now, I wonder if these are going to separate. Yes, it looks like they're completely separated, which is awesome. So here, let me do this. Oh, okay, I'm going to handle it now. Oh, this is, that, yes. Look at that. An action there. And then the back, what is it? Okay, that looks phenomenal. Okay, here we go. Somebody call my dentist, tell him I'll be there in an hour, and cancel the rest of his afternoon. Okay. I was expecting it to be more crisp. For no reason. So interesting. Never tasted anything like this before. What is in it? Here, let me get the ingredients. Oh, boy. There's no way you'll be able to read these ingredients, folks. Especially if I hold it upside down. Let me see, is that... I can't even tell if that's upside down. So let me start by saying it is delicious. Shockingly not as sweet as I would think. I think, are there nuts? Is it... Hold on. I've gotten rid of all the evidence. So, this is a tough one to rate. This is phenomenal, very unique. Wow, this is delicious. I keep giving high scores because let's face it, there's not a lot of, unless someone slips licorice into my thing, this is like an 8.2. This is phenomenal. And also because it's so unique. It's like, oh, I taste the saltiness now too. Wow. I wonder where this is on the health scale. I'm hoping it's exceptionally healthy. That would make me very happy. Oh, that's perfect. This is perfect. These are perfect, you know? Okay. Thank you, Donnell. A final shout out. Where'd the box go? Here we go. Like, are these available everywhere? I know nothing about these. Maybe you guys can look it up. Okay, got to get the light correct. No. Yes. No. Yes. There we go. Wow, that's really tough. Really, really good. Okay, now, tasting also so I taste the lavender, green tea and elderflower. There you go. A beautiful tea. All right, final questions. Folks, always great seeing you. And also, I really appreciate you guys, again, I've said this many times, jumping in and answering questions for people. And I know occasionally people attack people, and I don't understand why. You know, the worst thing is it's a TV show, or I don't analyze it, or why. Like, we're on a discussion page about the show. It's like the Bible's a book, right? People discuss it. It's just a book, and people discuss, and I'm not even saying that you can discuss anything. That's part about being human. You want to share your thoughts and interpretations about the show. So when you write in and I answer a question and people attack you, please ignore them, or point it out to me if you feel like they're being exceptionally mean. I don't understand why people write it's a show, or I don't analyze this, that's a fair thing. You can write, I haven't thought about this, but when you attack somebody else who says it, just seems uncalled for, uncouth, and uncivil. And we do block people, etc. So I do appreciate you guys jumping in. And I'm just saying, don't worry. There are some people who, if you look at all their posts and you're like, oh, you've posted 63 inflammatory comments, I have a feeling you would like to get people's attention. Okay. Deb Tucker Frank, I saw that attacking a lot. Happened to me. I ignored it. I thought, really? Yeah. So ultimately, just so you know, Donnell, I found, let me put this up. I found Fortnum and Mason from Phil's Instagram. It's one of his favorite places in London. Okay, so that's where this is from, just in case, just so you know. And there's something else from Donnell that I have to taste next week, and I don't think it'll fit in the canister, but it looks delicious or explosive. I don't know. Either way, I'm not worried about being disappointed. I wish everybody could taste that stuff. Yeah, so here's a 30,000-foot view of people who write mean things. You have to feel sorry for people who have the time to write a mean thing about somebody who writes something about Patricia Heaton's dress, right? So you have to feel sorry for them ultimately. So you kind of feel bad. Doesn't give you a license to be mean to other people, but ultimately, would you think about where their life is? There you go. That is a little bit of unsolicited feedback about things. Donnell, excellent choice. Yes, I affirm that. I hate when people say it's a show. Thanks for mentioning that, is what I thank them back. Yeah, it's annoying, but you're going to have people. Terry Jones just joined, and have to say this was my favorite show episode. A favorite episode ever. Favorite show ever. And I was going to say favorite episode or favorite show. And when you say this, you're not talking about me talking. You're talking about Everybody Loves Raymond, just so if anyone was like, wait a minute, I find anything better. Okay. Going back through, final look at Instagram, our stepchildren who have been ignored on Instagram. Couldn't get on Facebook, having a dinner for my husband's birthday with his son and grandkids. Hi, Annabelle. Annabelle, one of the people that joined us in Austin, Texas. Monica had the best sweaters. I much prefer Monica's clothes to Patricia's clothes. Yeah, although Patricia was in a lot more episodes. So it was kind of a little bit of a tough challenge. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining. Keep those questions coming. I love when you chime in. I love when you have ideas. No question is stupid. A lot of you, we're gaining ground. I think we have 87,000 followers now, and we had maybe 30,000 last year. So let's say there's a football stadium or a soccer stadium, whatever you watch, rugby, lacrosse stadium, full of people who have never seen these posts. So I appreciate your patience, all the people that know everything about the episode, and when people write some question, I appreciate you guys chiming in and being like, here's the answer, not, he already talked about it, because you're new, they are new to us. So I appreciate all of the civility. This should be an escape from the day-to-day, everything hectic in your life. All right, and I thought, you know what? Could there ever be a spin-off? You never say never. Does it look like it right now? No. Obviously, no Frank and Marie. We can't bring them back, but I can bring them back to you with all of my photos and all of my videos. And that is kind of what I've been trying to do as of late. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Good seeing all of you. We will talk to you next week, actually this week still, later this week. Technically, it's the beginning of next week. If you're going to go by a Sunday, maybe we should think about this for an hour and try and land on an answer. See you guys all on Sunday.